Hi, so we're going to be hopping in here in just a sec. Thank you for joining us. I'm very excited to be doing so. I got a brand new computer today, so hopefully that means some things are going to go a little smoother than they may or may not have in the past. While we wait, I have some commissions that I have to make sure we get to, so I'm just going to verify and read up on what it is that I'm working on. Okay, I think we're good. I feel a little more confident in what I'm about to do here. There were some things that I just wanted to check in on, make sure that I kind of understood about the premise. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started. Hi. So let's hop on over to Photoshop here. Get my music up just a bit. If that's a little too loud, let me know. I'll turn it down. We're gonna try it out. Like I said, I just got a new computer, so some of my plugins and things are still finding a way to where they're supposed to be. For example, the glove that I use to draw is somewhere. Is today going to be the day that I finally learn to go without that thing? My crutch, if you will. It's always something, isn't it? It's always... There we go. Okay. Fall on the ground. So, let's hop in. Woo. Okay, I was going to say, it looks like my pen's got disconnected. This may be a short run here. So always have a backup. That pen is finicky. If there's music playing, I can't hear it. Turn it up just a scooch. I may not want to play, it's shy. My fear was actually the other way, that I would drown out. Should be good. So I'm going to start with my canvas itself at 30%. Make sure my brushes are where I'd like them to be. There's my guy. I like to go on a 3. Let me just verify that that's... That's a little lighter than I was hoping for. Let's go with something like, that's a little big. 8.5 by 11. Yeah, I like that a lot more. So we can close out that guy. I don't care to save it. Yeah, since I'm moving some stuff, I'm going to move my chat over here so I can see it. And I'm gonna go ahead and get started. So what I'm working on today is a sheep type character. The prompt was an imp type character who wears like a goat type skin and utilizes fire, especially like a torch of some kind, to house spirits. There's a lot going on, and I'm excited to see what we can do with it. So I'm gonna start off with the head. Head's always a good spot to start. And I want him to have kind of this like snarky type of feel. Almost disgusted, almost like a how dare you type of look. And he's supposed to be wearing this skin. I'm gonna make it very ignoring the gore and going more so with just like a costume. Maybe I'll incorporate something like a little tuft of hair so he still has that Billy Goat type look without being fully Billy Goat. Feels like those proportions are weird. I think that's a little closer. Ooh, am I losing my pen? Backup for the backup? Is that what we're doing? Big ears. Add that cuteness factor. Good thing about imps and about goats together is that they all have those big ears, so I can use that for both. Then I've seen a lot of people for like this type of thing use like wrapping around. I'm gonna try and do something a little different. And create this like lumpy shape. Looks both goat-like and otherworldly, I think. Do that. I'm liking that a lot. I'm liking that a lot. A part of me wants to just move on and be like, I like that so much, I'm excited to draw it now. But I have to get to the body, too. Remember, he's an imp, so he's got this little like water balloony body. I keep having to switch my pens because I keep losing. Like, suddenly one doesn't want to work anymore, so. I kind of want to draw back on the references that I've seen here. That I I like that the references have done, and kind of just drawing on that without, you know, seeing what I can draw upon while I'm still keeping it my own. That's the plan. That's the goal. And a part of me says, oh, the legs are too long because it feels like it's way too tall, but one of my favorite movies is Pan's Labyrinth, and I like how he has those stilt-like legs, and I'm gonna try and evoke that a little bit. Got this, and he's gonna have, I'm gonna actually do like a lantern shape, because I think it's easy to go, oh, it's fire, so I'm gonna do a fire ball. I'm gonna do something different. I'm gonna actually do a lantern style shape. This up before I start drawing it so I can make sure that I get the size that I like. I kind of want to fill up the most of the page there. Okay. Actually go to a 4. One thing that I want to improve upon from my sketch is making the forehead a little bigger. I don't know if I want that much definition. Because one of the things that you focus on with like cute characters is their relation to things like babies. I know that sounds weird, but babies have big foreheads, and a lot of the psychological aspects of what we perceive as cute come from babies. Come from, you know, our innate thought that babies are supposed to be cute. So the more that something looks like a baby, the more cute it comes across. Thus, you know, you have the big eyes, you have little tiny noses, things like that. Fulfill these same patterns that we see in different characters. Maybe a 4 was too big. I'm wondering if a 4 was too big. Maybe I'll do the 4 for the main features and cut back to the 3 for the insides of things, you know, non-important features. Yeah, your basic anime gal. It's insane how much like psychology plays a part in just the basics of art. In the drawing, and I'm no expert, but it's just one of those things that you like learn and you pick up on, like. Oh, the things that make something cute are pretty universal. Where does that come from? Well, that comes from our innate understanding of what cute is, which is babies. Round features, things like that. I just want to cut back to the 4. Maybe I'll mimic what will be the beard on the head. So we got this nice little symmetry top and bottom. I may end up changing it, but whoop, okay. I'm liking that. I'm digging that. Maybe do a little. Highlight those ears a little bit. Okay. Make him just a little bit more standoffish. Alright, I think we're getting there. This song has like the Minecraft skeletons on backing vocals. And I can't see, but if anyone's joining us on YouTube as well, welcome. I know this is our first time kind of doing Twitch and YouTube at the same time, so welcome on either side there. I'm gonna cheat it. I'm still very much getting used to the sensitivity of this mouse. I've tried to adjust it. Huh. The shortcut's different. Interesting. A lot of new stuff going on with the new computer here, such as I believe this is an updated version of Photoshop, which I was not using before, so I'm up to date now. With that comes a couple little changes that I've got to get used to. circles within that line. Make that just a smidge softer. Mimic those circles on the eyes on the back of the coat, the skin. Actually be angled more, so let's do something like that. Okay, yeah, I'm liking this guy. Look at the cutie. Look at this cute little guy. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna draw the fire. Draw the lantern. I don't want him actually holding it is the thing. I want it floating. If I can get this right, let's see here. The idea is that it has like almost a second soul inside, so I want it to convey that in a number of ways, rather than just, you know, saying, oh, it's got this thing, you know, so let's see, how can I, I'm going to keep it as a separate layer. Go kind of one step further than what I did with the previous character. Yeah, okay. I thought I somehow had gotten both. It looked like both had turned gray. Okay, so I'm gonna do that, and let's do. Oh, whoa. No, let's do magic wand. Oh, I forgot. That weird update. Modify, expand this time. I want to make sure I get everything, so I'm going to expand up to 2. And I'm going to erase only half of what's in there. I'll do a little bit more. The more I look at it, you know, the more I'm not really caring for those horns. I thought I had a really fun and interesting idea. I'm not really liking them, and I'd rather have something like, you know, here's the thing. I like them because I'm like, I know that they're what they are. Most people on first shot at it, they're gonna think like, is he a clown? Because his hair looks like clowns. So what if I do a different type of horn? What if I just do... Because my thing is like, yeah, I know what I'm going for, but the average person who's not the artist doesn't have that information that I have. Of like, oh, well, I was going for this, and this is kind of what I wanted. They have what they see. And so while I may think like this is a great idea, and I may explain it to you, and you may be like, oh, that's a great idea. It doesn't matter. Right, kind of looks like that, so we gotta change it. I like that a little more. That I can get behind. Merge those just for a moment for the sake of getting rid of all this. Okay. Okay, cool. Actually, I kind of probably need to keep that. And I'll drop out those for a bit. Because if I intend to cheat this by highlighting in that way, then I gotta go all out. Ah, it whatever this is, give me a little bit more for those horns. We want something that's like dark, 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 dark. So that's what we're going for. We're gonna go with like black horns on, you know, the black wool with that red undertone. And I'm liking it. I'm liking it a lot. I think when we add some shine, when we go into the shadow and shine, we're gonna be really impressed with what we see. At least I think I'm gonna be. So let's got a little bit. That's what Control Z is for. Okay. Come in here, grab these. I like that the red stayed there because that really gives me a good visual. I'm just gonna carry that same red into here. Ooh, into here. Yeah, I think I love when it just comes together like this. There's a couple different times that I think when the picture starts to make itself really clear and you can tell right away if you are gonna like it or not. The first is when you're adding in these color to like the face. That for me, that's it. Is when you can see the face starting to come through. The other is when you're adding that shadow. So when you're adding the shadow, I think it starts to come through as well. Can I make this easy on myself? There we go. Alright. Gonna go to the orange. I wonder if I can steal that same orange that I'm using here. And the fire. Yeah! Work smarter, not harder. Ooh, there we go. I don't like to ever use genuine like black for the colors. I like to use dark because I feel like you get a little bit more variety that way. It allows things to keep that light and airy appearance. You know, you don't take that from it. Here, got this. Keep that red. Yeah, I'm digging it. Let's throw in some of that. Let's get the orange. Let's get the fire. Select, modify. We're gonna expand that by 1. Yeah. Liking that a lot. I want to look at the references, how they did their fire, and see if there's anything that I really like. If there's any concepts or ways that they did it that I'm down for. I'm liking a lot of it. Some of it I'm kind of against. Most of it I'm kind of against, actually. There are a few little aspects that I think I will throw in and keep, but for the most part I think I'm just going to go with my own rendition of fire, which is just kind of doing the same shapes that I did before, again. Yeah, the same like erratic lines as before, just a second time, and it'll all blend together in a moment. Oh. Whoa, did I lose Photoshop? Did that just crash on me? Oh man, I hope it saved it. Otherwise, we're gonna get the opportunity to look at the that and see what we liked and didn't like, which works, I suppose. Oh my gosh. All right. We're gonna save that as. Real quick, sorry, I'm just saving this because I am not gonna let that happen again. That was scary. Alright. It even took away like my organization of these side pieces. That is scary. Ooh, it took us back a layer or two, too. Oh my gosh. Oh, I have the wrong selector on. I can't believe that happened. Oh. Forgot, it reset my brushes too, so I gotta go back and select. That's insane. Monka S? I don't understand. This is also something that doesn't that happens fairly regularly with Photoshop. It's a sweating frog. You would know. Okay, so let's just do that. Keep it light, keep it sporadic. Sounds like I have to get the better TTV emotes. Okay, just do that. I'm not going for teeth in his mouth. I kind of want his mouth open. Just like slack-jawed. So that's what I'm going to do, is just have it be open. Okay, I'm liking it, I'm liking it, I'm liking it, I'm liking it. Groovy, and it's here. It exists, which is always a good sign. Which is more than I can say was happening a moment ago. Oh, I'm on the wrong one. Ugh. All right, 0. There you go. This is where things are going to be hard. Is because I want to shade this, but it gives off its own light. Which is hard. Oh, got a new follower. Thanks. Jackham? Sorry. Hard name to pronounce. If you give me a phonetic spelling in the chat, I will try my hardest to get that right. But thank you for the follow. That's so nice. Jake. That works. Let's go with Jake. You're giving me easy mode. How you doing, Jake? Jake is such a nice, friendly name. I don't think there's any... I can't imagine anyone being named Jake that I would have an issue with in any way. Not to say I have any issues with you, Jake. Just saying it's one of those names that I feel like Jakes are just good people. Jake's good folk. Good, pretty tired. How are you? Honestly, I'm tired. It's been a long day. I got a new computer today. Got a lot done, and boy, are my arms tired. But yeah, you know, been its own thing. It's late for everybody, and that's what I feel like. What I think is that's like the best time to be doing like just kind of these chill streams. Everyone's tired, it's late, and you know, you just kind of want something that you can relax to. So that's what I'm going for. I say that, and then probably immediately after this, I'm gonna go watch like a horror stream and be like, "This is what the people want." Did a horror stream today. I did The Forest today. It was a ton of fun. It's early for you? I just found out recently that daylight savings time is this weekend. I'm gonna lose an hour, and I was I was upset. I was so upset. And it's like one of those upsets where it's like, what do you do? There's nothing you can do about it. You know? Do I write a letter to my congressman? Tell him we gotta change time? Yeah, Lysis was there earlier for the Forest stream. Got to see me be absolutely terrified. I don't do well in horror situations, so it was quite the experience for everyone involved, I'll say. Oh, I didn't color these hands. Let me do that real quick. There we go. It's early for you though, Jake. That's must be nice. Hoping it's not too early, hoping that you're at least able to catch some sort of rest. I'm hoping that you woke up, and that's why it's so early, and not, you know, I'm really mad at myself early. I've been there. Where it's like early, and it's like, I should have slept, and I didn't. But regardless, I'm glad that you spent the time to come to this stream. Always nice to have people stop by. We're working on right now a commission that I have for a character, and this character's kind of a shadowy imp type thing, and the whole premise. Ooh, too busy with work. Jeez. The whole premise is that it's like wearing the skin of a goat. Busy with work. God, that's terrible. That's the worst kind of early. That's the worst kind of I'm up, because that's the I'm up, and I desperately don't want to be. So I'm sorry to hear that, man. That's terrible. I wish you good sleep. I wish you that when you do get the chance to sleep, that it comes easily, and it comes for long periods of time, and it comes, you know, it comes with the time required to get that rest. I've got 2 kids, so for me, sleep is you take it when you can get it, and sometimes it's not the best sleep in the world, but it's sleep. So I want to send you vibes of good sleep, however that good is defined. Let's see what else. I think we're good. Let's go ahead and do our little shading trick that I like to do. Oh, well, first I want to blend. What strength are we at? We're at 50. So I appreciate it. No problem. Good vibes are free. That's what I always say. Costs you nothing to send good vibes someone's way. Is that blending? I don't know if it's blending as well as I'd like it to. No, it is. It's going good. Okay. Getting things set up a certain way, the way that I like. So, like, I have my chat over here, so I keep looking over here to address you, but you're watching here, right? Like that. I'm trying to get the hang of this with the new setup here. What I do is I like to come here, turn it blue, and that's very blue. So I make that 50. Double it. Turn back to normal, and there we go. And those shadows are nice and harsh, which is good with the fire kind of illuminating. 5 a.m. on a Saturday morning. 5 a.m. Good golly, Miss Molly. That is... Oof. I know these look like just random white squiggles. You gotta trust the process. Trust me, this is gonna... Hopefully, we're gonna see. Okay, so we were at 75 strength. We're gonna go to 100. Oh, it's still not enough. Big guns. What's a 10 look like? 10's too much. Let's go 7. I'm going to hit these spots up here. Horns. On the eyes. I don't want to pass over the people. Definitely learn to trust the process. Yep, just trust in the process. I mean, what else can you do? You got to hold on tight and hope that things work out. We all lack a certain amount of control in this world. Best thing you can do is acknowledge that control can happen, and yeah, things are rough, but it could be rougher. My dad used to say that, and it if I'm being honest, it didn't give me any form of solace, but I'm not saying that it's not true. You know, my dad was always the kind who said, you know, why, if you're struggling, you shouldn't complain about it because someone else is struggling harder. And it kind of devalued what I was going through. So I don't want to say that to anybody. You know, I think it's hard to not say that to people because we're so inclined to say, it's okay. And the it's okay is because we're equating it to ourselves or to the struggles of others. And so we say, oh, it's got to be okay. It doesn't got to be okay. Sometimes life's rough and it sucks. And sometimes you just want someone to say, yeah, that sucks. You know, you don't want someone saying, oh, you woke up at 5 a.m. and you're tired and you want to go back to sleep and you so desperately want to be unconscious right now. You don't want to hear, oh, it's okay. Oh, well, you know, being up at 5 a.m., here's the positives to it. You don't. Let's grab some yellow. I want to put some sort of spirit type thing in this fire. That's a little too much. Instead of raising 50%, let's raise 3. It's all good. Okay, so I got this here. What can I kind of like the overlay. expand that. So that we can shrink it down. Oh, did my pen just go out? Well, I'm on the wrong layer, that's why that was coming up that way. Alright, is that the same one as our little guy there? Yeah, let's see if we can. Overlay's a little rough. Actually kind of digging that linear light. If I do that linear light, but instead of full strength, I go 75. Yeah, I like the glow of the full strength, but I'd like to get that variation in there from the undertone. Look at that. What does that at 100 look like? I'll take it. Just gonna experiment with something real fast here. Hey, where'd my window go? Always hated drawing fire. Yeah, it's... I feel like fire will always look right and always look wrong at the same time. Is it this? That's not properties. It's adjustments. Adjustments is what I want. It'll always look right and it'll always look wrong. And you're never going to be able to tell. I'm wondering what if I do a blue fire? Does that work? What if I do both? I do two. I'm hoping it's not too different for the client. Like, the client may, you know, just be like, it's not what I asked for. If we're gonna do the blue, then let me at least get all of it. I think that the blue with the red has a really good contrast, and I think it's so like a surprise. Like the orange of the normal fire is really good, but I think the blue is a surprise. I'm wondering if what it'll look like if I just play around with these filters on it. Yuck, disgusting. Oh, if I do that and isolate, that actually looks kind of cool. Yeah, it keeps the darkened edge there. I'm gonna go with that. It's decided. Yeah. That's what we're gonna do. So I'm gonna keep that the way it is, and I'm gonna add some. I've already added some highlights. I'm just trying to make. I think it looks more spirit-like, and it adds to the premise that we're going for here, which is that this is a held soul. And all the art that I've seen that we've gotten of this character's like reference, it feels like that. It feels like it's almost like a secret that this is a secondary character. So I'm going to try and keep it that way, but I do want to capture that. I wish I could use blue fire in my renders. Why can't you? What's keeping you from using blue fire in your renders? I mean, I did it. And I had no idea. I did it and I had no idea what I was doing. So, just saying. I do want to see if I can. No, I'm staying with the white. Keep it simple. I love that. Okay. If I stare at it, the problem is if I stare at it too long, I'm going to get to the point where I'm like, you know, I'm gonna keep thinking that I can change something in it. I'm an architect. Blue fire isn't realistic enough. I mean, it says who? But yeah, I get you. My grandfather was an architect for years, and architecture is one of those things I always wanted to go into, but I did not have the patience. Like, I think that's the biggest thing you gotta have as an architect, is you gotta have patience. You gotta understand that what you're working on is gonna take a long time, and that's just the way things is. So it was something I could never do. I'm gonna draw something else. Depends on what you're burning. Yeah, you can be an architect for like a pyrotechnic stand. It's like the goal here is to burn down in a certain way. That'd be kind of cool. Be the Wicker Man architect, the architect of the Wicker Man statues with the intent to burn. It sounds insane, but that is someone's job, which is still a crazy thing. So I'm gonna look at this one more time. I'm gonna say I'm done. Maybe you can do some polishing up later, but no more huge addendums to the design, and I'm going to send this off to the client. Now I'm going to draw something just for fun. Let's see. What do I want to draw? What do I want to draw? Let's draw something. I don't know. Let's draw like a creature. I want to draw a creature. So we're going to... I have no idea where I'm going with this, so... Maybe this will be another Fakemon or something of the like. One of the guys from the forest. I want to do as much as I can to not relive that. Like the point that I got to today where I was like, this is a good ending point. I want to not think about it until then. Because if I think about it, it will appear in my dreams, which will then make them nightmares. And I don't want to do that. I was drawing this character as like a Fakemon, but it's just becoming a Loudred. Which I guess is fine. Maybe it'll be a Paradox form. Loudred is one of my favorite Pokemon, so we'll have to see. But yeah, to answer your question, no, I'm not going to do one of the guys from the forest. Never ever. Ever. I hate it so much. I hate playing horror games, in a way of just, not like, oh, I hate it, oh, you're making me do it, but in a way of like, I panic so quickly. I go so immediately into panic mode. There's that tyrant sneaking in. Jake, it's not 5 here, but it is 9. And like I said, it's been a long day. You know what? Now I kind of do want to do a Paradox Loudred. So let me hop on and see. I have to get some reference. Okay, I think I got something. So I'm gonna start this guy over because I think that's the direction that I'm going. So I want to go direction of a paradox form of Loudred. So that's Loudred, as we all know. So Paradox Ladder, how am I going to do this? It's got to be like very, I like the caveman style. So that's what we're going to go for. Start out with the mouth. The mouth, I don't want to change too much of the mouth because it is, that's the character, like. But the intricacies of that thing are so, like. Let's start with let's start with the mouth. It has these orbs that actually become narrow on the bottom. So when you think of a character screaming like this, I often think of going the opposite, you know, small on top, big on bottom. But this one's the opposite, so we're gonna do that. Yeah, we're doing good. That is a weird tongue now that I look at it. The way that they designed that is... that doesn't make sense. Oh, and he actually has a uvula. I feel like that's weird for Pokemon. To have a uvula. Oh, thanks. Trust me, if I had planned, things would be going a lot smoother. But thanks. It's planning as you go. It's trying your best. So that's what I'm doing, is just trying my best, and I'm gonna come up with a lot of ideas that don't work, as you saw. Like, I just want to make this thing more savage, so I'm doing sharp teeth rather than those buck ones there. I wonder if I could add more. Excuse me. Yeah, I'm gonna have a lot of ideas that I end up on the cutting room floor here. Yeah, the hardest thing of this is like telling my brain, because my brain says it'd be so much easier if you just trace this. You know, at least to get the dimensions and things, but that's kind of not the challenge, you know? Like, even that, do I start with the mouth? Do I start with the body? Like, where do you start? Like, that's the whole deal. Right? So let's start with this big jelly bean-like body, because I want to keep the base. That's the thing, is I want to keep the base. But every time that I try to draw the base, I end up with something not right. And this one's going to be squatted. So rather than, you know, that Exploud, or that Loudred, where he's like stomping, this one's going to be squatted. Like, I want to come up with the idea that these ones like plant themselves. And maybe I'll come up with the lore. Always start with a box. Yeah. I have a hard time. Because for an artist, like, not to say that you're not an artist, but for like a character concept, I like to start with the motion. Where's the motion? What's the concept of motion here? And for this guy, he's like got his arms out and he's like swaying. He's almost dancing. But like, what do you do with that? How do you translate that? And I'm gonna make this guy much more stationary, like almost like a cannon. It locks into place, and that's how it gets its job done. So it's like weird, like just to draw Loudred and be like, what if we start with the feet? This is the internet. We're all about feet. So we do that. And have these like armored knees that like again, the idea with like this one is like, what if it locks into place, functions like a tank, and in the old days they used them as like bastions of like holding off defenses, and that's what the sound was. And then his arms just kind of come out of the middle of his body. Like, that's the thing with this character is there's no measurement. There's no like, okay, well, you know, oh, well, the arms start right where the feet end, and, you know, and this, and it's literally just like, the arms come out of the middle of the body. There we go. Do these, like, plates. I think we're getting somewhere, and it's weird that it came from avoiding the main feature of this Pokemon. What if I go back to the original design here of this big bulb on the head, and that rather than having the two, it's got one. It had, we'll say it had in this timeline one. Pokemon designs their arm placement. Well, it's like, you know, you have stuff that makes sense, like Charizard is a dragon. Its arms are where its arms are. They're right on the sides of the torsos. The legs are on the bottom. Very sturdy. This guy is a pill. His arms come out of the middle of the entirety of his body. There's no connection or structure beyond that. They just, like, do. Like what I'm doing here is I'm putting the mouth right up on the eyes. Because that makes sense to me, at least. Like, there's a framing device there. I'm liking that a lot. He's terrible, and I love him. Ugh, he's so kind of gross looking. Alright, let's make him real. Let's give him some definition. Oh, I'm still on 50. Let's do 100. I think that's what I'm going for. Because, like, the concept with these Pokemon is that they're, like, based around, like, myth. And I think it functioning as a giant eye kind of works. Like, you know, it's the Cyclops. It's the creature of ancient story. And, yeah. But we're going somewhere different with it, rather than saying, like, oh, we'll make Magnemite the Cyclops because it has a big eye. Was like, what if we make something that looks like it has a big eye into something that mimics something that had a big eye in history? With a monocle. All good characters you should be able to see with a monocle. That's how you can tell a good character from a bad character. If they feel like they should be wearing a monocle, good character design. If you can't see them wearing a monocle, probably bad design. That's why Wario is peak game design, because you can see him wearing anything, or nothing. I want to be able to see that bend, but I don't want it to be like angular. Okay. I don't really know. Sometimes I'm drawing a line and I don't know what I'm looking for, honestly. Like that works, I guess. So see, I started with the idea of like, oh, it's savage, so let's go with bigger teeth, but I very much scrapped that idea in favor of several others. dog's barking. I don't know if you can hear it. Probably gonna have to go out there in a minute and figure out what he's barking at. But we're close to the end of the stream anyway. Got about 45 minutes. Yeah, we're getting somewhere. After my ability to draw hands, it does not come without a ton of practice, and even then, screwing it up. I got very lucky that this guy only has a couple fingers. Oh, I know why he's barking. One moment. Take a break. I normally don't do this. Okay, back. But yeah, hands, it is something that, man, I want to say it takes a lot of practice, because it does. But it's also one of those things that, honestly, and I tell people this all the time when I'm, like, coaching, I do a lot of volunteer work for schools teaching art when they don't have, like, art programs. And a lot of kids ask, like, hey, you know, that's a question that comes up. How do you draw stuff that's difficult, like hands or feet or arms or things like that? And the answer, honestly, that I always tell the kids is cheat. You gotta trace. Trace and trace and trace until you figure it out. And you gotta have no shame in that. Hands are hard, and the only way you're gonna figure it out is by looking at references and going from there, as well as just straight up drawing over the reference material. And you know, there's nothing wrong with that, at least not in my head. Now, when it comes to like something that you're drawing for money or for, you know, clout or something, that's where I suggest, okay, you're gonna want to try your hardest to get something that's yours. Because that's yeah, you know. But a lot of people think, you know, oh, how do I get better? And oh, I can just trace, but that's cheating. When you're learning, it's not. When I don't consider it that. When you're learning and you're like just trying to get better at something, just for you, do what you can. Do what works. You know, don't sit there and be like, well, it's not approved of by so and so, and oh, well, you know, I'm gonna get made fun of. You're practicing. Practice. They say practice makes perfect, but it's not true. Practice makes more opportunities for you to practice, because perfection is something that's not guaranteed in any way. I'm not perfect. I don't want to be perfect. You know how boring things would be if I was perfect? I think about that a lot. The concept of the perfect place. I'd play golf all day. Or at least until I got really good. And then once I got really good, I'd probably not want to play golf anymore. And then the place wouldn't be perfect anymore. I like that. Paradox Loudred, my favorite Pokemon. Similar enough, but different enough, I think. Let's do this. I want to make him gray. The original is purple. I'd like to make this one a little bit closer to gray. Even that, not not gray enough for my taste. Give me that good grimace purple. There we go. And with those, we're gonna go that pink, that, like neonish pink that he has. Yeah. Ooh, I'm getting there. I'm enjoying this one. Okay, here we go. And then these we're gonna make dark, which is only going to make that pink stand out more. Yeah, okay. And his lips, I believe, are yellow? Let me check back the reference. Yeah, yellow. It's weird. I get it. It'll make the color stand out a little bit more, but let's do kind of dingier yellow. Fix that tooth there in a moment. Suppose I should get that eye while I'm here, shouldn't I? Muy bien. Okay. Color was the mouth. I believe it was just mouth color. Music has kids yelling in it, and for a second I thought, are there kids yelling outside? I was about to like, I'm sorry about that, everybody. Talk to the yelling kids outside. Nope. Just the music. Now let's expand, because I really want to make sure that I get all the nooks and crannies of this this mouth. It keeps tricking me. I still keep thinking there's kids like screaming right outside my door. No. Yeah, I got a new computer today. I'm really enjoying it. Nothing like getting that new computer and just kind of playing with it. That's what I've been doing most of the day today. Is just playing with my new toys. Alright, look at that. I like it. I'm getting down with it. Get those teeth straightened out here. Then we can do some of those little touch-up spots. But let's get these teeth. Okay. I'm gonna deal with the rooster outside my window. See, I have chickens outside, but I got chickens specifically because they don't crow. I wouldn't. If it's your chicken, I would suggest like go on Amazon or wherever. And I found these things. They're collars for chickens, probably specifically for roosters, that prevent them from being able to like fully expand their throat to crow. It doesn't hurt them. It just prevents their body from doing this part. Almost like I assume like stopping a person from hiccuping. It doesn't hurt them. It just keeps them from doing something. And you just put it around the rooster and they can't crow. It's super cool. Just super cool. I feel like this guy's kind of bland now. Now that I look at it, I'm like, he feels a little bland. Should I put something... Like, what if I take these? Like, what's the opposite color of pink? Green? I don't want green. Let's do blue. Yeah, a rooster outside the window. I can't imagine. Because I went out of my way to make sure I would never have to imagine. Like if I do these blue, how do I feel about that? I prefer the pink. But I do feel like this needs some blue. And I have all this empty space here. but I don't know what to put here. Like, I could put circles. I could put circles. I did that just to waste time, and I realized that's exactly what I need to do. That's the exact solution. Yep. Yep. That feels right. Does it? It's gotta be blue because... Because if it was pink, it would get confused for more speakers, and I don't want to do that. So I think I'm gonna stick with the blue. I think that's the plan. That's what we're going for. So blue circles. I'm hoping once I shade it, I feel a little bit more confident in it. So yeah, what I normally do is I'll just come here. 25. Minus 25. Enter, come back down here. We'll undo, not undo, but like invert the shadow. If I can click the right thing. There we go. And now I can come in and actually shade this as I'd like. Let's see. So these concave bits, I actually kind of tried to study this a little bit when I had the reference up. It's shaded actually the opposite way from where the light comes in. So it'll actually be shaded kind of like this. So the light's coming in this way. It'll be shaded this way with the light. That makes sense. I had to see it to understand the concept of that style of shading. So if I do that, I can just do this. Yeah, but then like the head, this big, beautiful, bulbous head will actually be opposite. Yeah, there we go. And then one thing that I noticed, like the Ken Sugimori art, and what I try to emulate is, I'll come here and I'll take off like half the rim on the shading. And then when you go in later and blend it, it looks so good. At least that's my opinion. I notice it's something that like the Pokemon art does, and I tried my hardest to emulate it, and that was like the big game changer. Was that they don't just straight shadow; they actually like do a little cut. It's so like, I don't know, the Pokemon, official Pokemon art, there's so many little nuanced things that you can't, when it's done right, you cannot tell it all. But when it's done wrong, your eye is drawn to it. So that's like the game there, is how do you handle like these little tiny intricate things, it's too much, while trying to get it right. Like, it's a lot. And like I said, I've studied it a little bit. It's a lot to get your head around. Like, this may be too much. But at the same time, that should be shaded. Like, they break a lot of rules with the shading that they do, and that's what makes it hard, is because you're like, I know what this should look like, and I know, but you look at the actual art and you're like, oh, that thing that should be shaded in this certain way, they completely ignored. So I'm gonna do that. Come up here. I'll have to come back on the blue, and I'm not gonna do it there because I'm gonna have to do it anyway. So let's come here. Like here, you would think like, okay, naturally you would come in and you'd get these knuckles and things. Oh, thanks man, I appreciate that, Jake. Like I said, I've never met a person named Jake I didn't like, and you're proving me right in every single way. like I would think like, oh, you know, you got to do all the knuckles, but Kensumori says, what if you don't? What if you just do something like that? You know, and then for these, I'll cut this like that so you can tell that there's difference in length there. And then I'll probably come back and change it all. Like, that's the big thing, too, is I'll probably come back and be like, didn't like it. But the shadows are so, with the Kensugimori stuff and the actual genuine Pokemon art, it doesn't follow any form of rule. I mean, I'm sure it does. I can't figure it out, and there are people who, like, go about their lives, like, making, like, I follow a lot of people, I have a Pokemon-specific Instagram, and I follow a lot of people who do Pokemon art, like, or, like, Fakemon art, and, like, I cannot tell you how hard it is to look at that, break it down, and try to figure out, like, okay, what about this makes it look good? What about this makes it look genuine? Makes it look like the actual stuff? It's hard to do. It is insanely hard to break down. At least, again, this is just me. I'm sure there are people out there who are like, oh, I know exactly what it is. Oh, it's this, it's this. Oh, have you ever noticed this and that? Sure, that's fine. You're entitled to the opinion, and you're entitled to be more talented than I am. But, gosh, man, I like the little intricacies. And every artist has it. Like, every famous artist has the little intricacies that make it work. Yeah, the shading makes sense in the weirdest way. It does. It makes it look both rough and smooth. And the reason I would put it that way is because in the original concepts, they were like all watercolored. But then when they moved to digital, they were digital made to look like they were watercolored. And so they had to look both rough and smooth at the same time. Ooh, I did not color these feet. You know, they had to look like watercolor while at the same time looking like clean. So let's do that. Oh, too much. Oh, still too much. I did a full 100. And so they kind of met in the middle, I think, and were like, well, what if we do this, like, line to break it up? And it was like, okay, sure. So that's what they did. Now I'm going to come in, I'm going to blend it just a bit. My goal is not to erase that half line, but to just bleed in some of the stuff so that it's not quite so harsh. Music is incredible. Thanks. It's a built-in Twitch app that I got called Soundtrack. That it's nice for not having to look up unlicensed music. It just plays only music that's available. Is the Paradox XSplit? That's the idea, Stellar Avenger. I'm hoping that I'm going the right direction, but we're talking about the concepts of Kensugimori's artwork and what makes it tick, because like I keep saying, like the point is Kensugimori's artwork is you can't tell what it is that makes it look the way it does. It's one of those things that's like, I don't know, that the artwork combines digital and watercolor, very purposeful in certain ways. So that it feels natural, it feels like it was hand painted, but at the same time feels clean and purposeful. So that's kind of what you want to capture with this. So that's what I'm trying to capture, at least. And I forgot to color in these toes. It should be easy now that they're shaded. that. I actually want to fully shade that. Fully shade that. And fully shade that while I'm here. But yeah, Paradox XCloud, that was the hope. We were just kind of sketching, you know, shooting the breeze, and I was drawing something random and thought, like, that'd be a really good Paradox XCloud. I started with this big head and the lips, and I thought, like, this is Paradox XCloud. That's what this is going to be. So we went with it. While listening to our incredibly peaceful music. Yeah, and then we're going to go in, and we're going to grab our white, do some highlighting. Yeah. Trust the process. These ridges are rough because I desperately just want to draw the little highlight bubbles, but Thunderous Rumble, that's a good name. I was trying to figure that out too. Thunderous Rumble. I love that. It's canon. Blurring out these sides a little bit. Actually, what I'm going to do is, I want to do this. I'm going to grab this, bring it to 5. Do a full white. Nothing. No. I didn't shade any of the inner mouth. Thunderous Rumble. Such a good freaking name. I dig him. I dig him so much. Again, it's one of those things where if I keep looking at it, I'm going to keep thinking, like, I can add this, I can add that, I can add this, and I can add that. And then I'm going to end up over-designing it and over-complicating it. Or I can be okay with what I've done. It looks like it lives in a cave. That's what I'm thinking. Well, that, like, it's got it, right? Because the initial, like, Whismur and XCloud and Loudred were found in the cave between the two cities. I forget the names. I'm sure Stellar Adventure remembers. But it's got to live in a cave, and it's like an echo-based creature. So I see this as, like, when you run into this, when you run into Thunderous Rumble, it is inside of a cave, and the challenge with catching it is, like, it's echoing through the chambers of the cave. And so you're trying to pinpoint it through, like, the rumbles. and it leads you to a lot of dead ends. So you're essentially finding it through this maze while you can hear it roaring. And you find it, and it's just like this sonic, insane cannon. Never played the Pokemon games. I don't know much about them. They are a load of fun. A load of fun. I was talking to another streamer recently, actually, Nova. I'll have to find her stuff and give her the specifics on it. But she's been doing some Pokemon art too, and actually is what got me more so into filming myself doing art or streaming it. And she said that she got started playing Arceus, which is so vastly different from any other Pokemon game. But she said she enjoyed it a lot more, which felt like sacrilege. It was like, that can't be because it's too different. I haven't played Ruby, Sapphire, Emerald in years. But the fact is, you knew which game it was. But she was saying like how she got started in Arceus and loved it and wants to play more Pokemon games because of it. And it had to be explained like, that game is kind of a standalone. None of the other games are like that. So it was kind of like devastating on that premise of like, oh, well that sucks, because that was the one thing I was kind of looking forward to. I want to look and see if maybe I can... I want to look up a reference, because those blue circles I like, but I'm wondering what the status on them is. Okay, I looked up Camerupt, and Camerupt has black outlines on them too. I own a copy of Pokemon Emerald. I've just never gotten a chance. I've never gotten to play it. I have good news for you. You own probably the best Pokemon game out there. I think it's like Emerald, Diamond, and Pearl are up there as like the top tier Pokemon games. At least in my opinion. But I know a lot of people believe that. Like when the Diamond and Pearl remix came out, people were so pumped for it, and it was a huge letdown. But Emerald is one of the top. Because Ruby and Sapphire are such good games, and Emerald pretty much took both of them and said, let's just combine all the aspects from both into one game. And so they did so, and it was Emerald, and it was beautiful, and it's so fun. I have it too, and the funny thing is, I've never played it because I played Sapphire, and I loved Sapphire. I got really into it. I played it like 2 or 3 times through, and then a friend of mine, I don't know if they lent me Emerald or gave me Emerald, but at that time I was so tired of it because I played Sapphire, which is essentially the same game, so much that I didn't play it through. And Emerald has so much extra stuff. Like Sapphire and Ruby are great, and Emerald is just those games with added stuff. So good news is you have what is one of the best Pokemon games if you ever want to play it. They've changed so much, for good and for bad. Black and White might be a step above. Kind of. I mean, I on a certain level I do disagree. Black and White tried very hard to get in on the let's make sharing and connecting to other players way important in the game. And for me, at least, as like a nobody with no friends, it was really hard. Because like in Black, there's a whole city that's built off of how many people you connect with via DS. And in White, it's a forest based on how many people you connect with. I didn't play with anybody, so I pretty much missed out on a whole section of the game because of that. So for me, Black and White has a part where I hear people say it's good. My personal experience wasn't that great. You might start playing, Jake. I encourage you to do so. I love Pokemon. Like it's such a phenomenon, and I hear that they're actually getting ready to, like, in the show. I don't know if you'd be interested in the show. Replacing Ash and Pikachu with different characters and different Pokemon. And I thought it was a rumor, but it turns out that I keep on seeing posts about it. So I don't know. I keep seeing stuff about it where I have to anticipate that it is happening, that they're replacing the main characters. So now might be a good time to get into it, because you won't have a lot that you have to like follow up on. you'll have the opportunity of like starting fresh. I want to make sure before I do that. Yeah, my eraser's on the wrong button. Oh, what am I on? Oh, okay. I was like, what am I? I have my highlights only on. Sorry about that warning. I have to turn that off. Because I'm perfectly fine with people sending longer messages. Trek slapped and it fell a bit off. A soft reboot by having only Pokemon from that generation, the Pokedex, until the post-game. That's true. I forget about that. And, yeah. I forget that it was, like, one of the first to do that. To basically be like, hey, enjoy the game and everything that it does, rather than, you know, be, oh, well, it should have had this. Oh, my favorite part was this Pokemon. They should have just had all, you know, the previous generation in there. They're good games. I mean, I'll give it that. They're based on America, so I have to like them, because that's where I live. But it just felt, again, I'm biased due to my own personal experience. What was the name for it? It was Thunderous Roar? What was the name you suggested? Avenger? Oh, not your bad. No, you're fine. I don't know why that warning comes up. Thunderous Rumble. Oh, I forgot. I don't have the fonts I normally use added to this computer yet. I was looking for one called Big Noodle. That's actually a better font. Absolutely slap as a sticker. Sounds like I got something I'm adding to the store. Look for merch. I'm joking. I do have merch. I actually have shirts. You know, I actually bought a shirt of mine because I think it would be hilarious to walk around wearing a shirt with just my face on it. Huge. So, super pumped about it. That absolutely slap as a sticker. Maybe I'll save it. I need to start making emotes and stickers and emojis. And I should focus maybe on some of the Pokemon ones, because those are easy and quick. But yeah, we got a lot of stuff done today. Let me make these into a folder. Look at that guy. Still love it. I gotta always come back to my previous stuff and verify if I still like it. But yeah, I am so freaking down. This came out a lot better than I anticipated for kind of a nothing concept that I was like, maybe I'll doodle and come up with something, and then it came up with something, and I'm a big fan. I think it works out. But thanks for joining, guys. I'm gonna go ahead and cut off the stream here in a second. But thank you guys for coming. Thank you for watching. I think we had a ton of fun hanging out and talking. Don't forget to follow and turn on the notifications. I know that everyone says that, but I stream almost every day during the weekdays. I have two art streams on Monday. One is superheroes and Ben 10 inspired. The other one is going to be more Pokemon and commission stuff like this, and that's in the evening. So yeah, turn on all that stuff. Follow, subscribe, notifications. You know the whole drill. But thank you guys for coming. Thank you for hanging out. Good conversation. Good Pokemon. Good drawing. I greatly appreciate you guys coming.